For the INFJ, finding someone who truly understands them feels almost impossible. They move through life sensing people's emotions, reading between the lines, and carrying a deep inner world that few can reach. They connect deeply, but rarely find someone who can match their emotional depth, vision, and awareness. So when an INFJ finally meets their equal, it feels different from any other connection. It feels rare, balanced, and deeply familiar at the same time. Meeting their equal doesn't mean finding someone exactly like them. It means meeting someone who matches their depth, energy, and understanding. It's the person who doesn't make them feel like they have to explain every feeling or thought. It's someone who moves through life with the same intention, awareness, and care for truth. This kind of connection goes beyond attraction or chemistry. It's like finding another part of their own soul in someone else. When this happens, the INFJ feels both excited and calm. They don't feel the usual pressure to hide or protect themselves. Instead, they relax into something that feels safe and powerful at the same time. For the first time, they feel seen without needing to explain who they are. It's not just an emotional experience, it's spiritual. In this video, we're going to look at 6 things that happen when an INFJ finally meets their equal. These moments reveal why this type of connection can transform the INFJ's life in ways they never expected. Thing number 1, a mirror for their inner world. One of the most powerful things that happens when an INFJ meets their equal is the feeling of being mirrored. For most of their lives, INFJs feel misunderstood. They see others deeply, but few people ever see them the same way. They spend years trying to express themselves, often feeling like no one fully gets it. But when they meet someone who truly matches their energy and depth, that changes instantly. This person reflects their inner world back to them. It's like seeing their own thoughts, emotions, and values mirrored in someone else's actions and words. They don't have to explain why they feel something or why certain things matter so much. The other person just understands. There's a natural recognition that feels both surprising and comforting. This mirror effect gives the INFJ a rare feeling of belonging. They realize they're not too deep, too sensitive, or too complicated. They've just been surrounded by people who couldn't meet them at their level. With their equal, they finally feel understood without judgment. That level of emotional reflection brings peace they've never known before. They also start to learn more about themselves. By seeing parts of their own personality and energy reflected back, they gain insight into their own patterns and emotions. Their equal becomes a living reflection of their growth, showing them both their light and their shadows. This connection doesn't just validate who they are, it helps them grow into a clearer, stronger version of themselves. And for an INFJ, who values truth and personal growth above all, that kind of reflection is deeply healing. Thing number 2, silent understanding without explaining everything. INFJs often spend their lives feeling like they have to explain who they are. They carefully choose words, hoping others will understand their thoughts, emotions, and intentions. But when they meet their equal, that need disappears. Suddenly, communication becomes effortless. They can express entire ideas without speaking. Their equal just gets it, not because they guessed, but because they feel it too. This kind of silent understanding creates a deep sense of peace. There's no overthinking, no fear of being misunderstood, and no emotional exhaustion from trying to explain their heart. The INFJ doesn't have to translate their inner world anymore. Their equal meets them there naturally. They can sit in silence and still feel connected. They can share looks or small gestures that hold entire conversations. This kind of connection is rare, and when it happens, it feels almost telepathic. For someone as intuitive as an INFJ, that level of connection feels like finally coming home. It also builds trust quickly. The INFJ sees that they don't have to hide or hold back parts of themselves. They can be quiet, emotional, or thoughtful, and the other person won't misread it or take it personally. Their equal understands that silence doesn't mean distance. It means comfort. This kind of connection feels effortless because both people are tuned to the same emotional frequency. They both sense the moods, shifts, and subtleties that most people miss. It's not about talking all the time. It's about knowing. And for the INFJ, that knowing is what they've always been searching for. Thing number 3, co-creation of big vision and purpose. When an INFJ meets their equal, the connection doesn't stop at emotional understanding. It naturally grows into shared vision. INFJs are guided by purpose. They want their lives to mean something, to help others, or to create positive change. Most of the time, they feel like they're the only ones who see the world this way. But when they meet someone who shares that same drive, it's like lighting a spark that turns into something bigger than both of them. Together, they begin to dream on a higher level. It's not just about romance or companionship. It's about impact, growth, and meaning. Their conversations often drift toward ideas, goals, and deeper truths. They challenge each other's minds, not in a competitive way, but to bring out the best in one another. This kind of shared purpose can take many forms. They might collaborate on creative projects, start something meaningful together, or simply support each other's individual missions. Whatever it looks like, it always carries that deep INFJ quality of purpose and vision. The connection feels magnetic because it's not just emotional, it's directional. Both people feel like they're moving towards something that matters. That shared direction strengthens their bond because it keeps their connection alive and growing. For the INFJ, this is what real partnership means. It's not about control or dependence. It's about standing side by side with someone who sees life through the same spiritual and moral lens. When that happens, the INFJ feels unstoppable, like their dreams finally have the right kind of partner to bring them to life. Thing number 4, radical emotional safety and authentic vulnerability. For most INFJs, emotional safety is rare. They protect their feelings carefully because they've learned how easily people can misuse them. They might listen and care deeply for others, but they keep their own pain private. It's not because they want to hide, it's because they've been hurt before. When they finally meet their equal, that guard starts to come down. It doesn't happen all at once, but they begin to feel something they're not used to feeling: safety. Their equal creates space for them to be exactly who they are, without judgment or misunderstanding. That safety allows the INFJ to open up in ways they never could before. They start to share their true thoughts, fears, and emotions without fear of rejection. For the first time, their depth doesn't feel too much. Their equal welcomes it. They listen without trying to fix them or minimize their emotions. This makes the INFJ feel free. True vulnerability grows out of that kind of safety. The INFJ doesn't have to wear emotional armor anymore. They can be soft, sensitive, and completely real. That level of openness builds a connection that feels sacred, a rare kind of love or friendship based on total trust. With this person, they don't need to hide their intensity or sensitivity. Instead, those qualities are seen as strengths. That validation changes everything. The INFJ learns that love doesn't have to be heavy or uncertain. It can be peaceful, safe, and honest. This type of emotional safety isn't just about comfort. It's about healing. Many INFJs carry emotional scars from people who never truly understood them. Meeting their equal helps them release that old pain and experience connection in its purest form, where truth, love, and acceptance all exist together. Thing number 5, growth without pressure. INFJs are naturally focused on self-improvement. They always want to grow, learn, and evolve. But in many relationships, that growth turns into pressure. Others may expect them to be the one who gives, teaches, or adapts. Over time, this can drain the INFJ and make them feel unseen. When they meet their equal, the growth feels completely different. It happens naturally, without being forced. Both people challenge each other, but in a supportive way. The INFJ feels inspired to become better, not because they're being pushed, but because they're being understood. Their equal accepts them as they are, while still helping them reach higher. That balance of acceptance and encouragement is powerful. It allows both to grow together without losing their individuality. For the INFJ, this is a sign of true harmony, where love and growth exist side by side. In this connection, there's no need to change to be loved. They both see each other's flaws clearly, but they don't use them as weapons. Instead, they use understanding to lift each other up. Every challenge becomes a chance to grow stronger together. The relationship becomes a safe space for evolution. It's not about control, criticism, or fear. It's about shared progress. Two people walking the same path, learning and improving, but never forcing each other to move faster than they're ready to. For an INFJ, that kind of growth is the most meaningful kind. It's peaceful but powerful, deep but steady. It gives them the freedom to evolve while feeling completely accepted. That's what makes this kind of connection last. It nurtures both hearts without taking from either one. Thing number 6. A shared pull towards something bigger than just the two of them. When an INFJ meets their equal, the connection rarely stays limited to just the relationship itself. It begins to move towards something much larger, a shared pull toward purpose, creation, or impact. Both individuals feel that their meeting wasn't random. It feels like it was meant to happen, as if something beyond them brought them together for a reason. INFJs are visionaries by nature. They want to make a difference, help others, and contribute something meaningful to the world. When they meet someone who feels the same, that energy doubles. Their connection starts to take on a life of its own, inspiring ideas, creativity, and action. They often start working towards something that benefits more than just the two of them, maybe a cause, a project, or even a shared lifestyle that aligns with their beliefs. This sense of shared purpose strengthens their bond in a unique way. Their relationship isn't just about comfort or attraction, it's about movement. They both want to grow and create something that reaches beyond themselves. Together, they become a team that's built on both love and mission. There's a spiritual element to it as well. Many INFJs feel a deep sense of destiny when they meet their equal. It's not about fantasy or perfection, it's about recognition. They can feel that their paths were meant to cross, and that the connection serves a bigger purpose in their personal evolution. When this happens, both individuals start to evolve in new ways. They push each other to dream bigger, act braver, and trust their intuition more deeply. They become mirrors, motivators, and partners in purpose. It's not about losing themselves in each other. It's about expanding together. For the INFJ, this is the highest form of connection. It's not only emotional or intellectual, it's spiritual. It gives their relationship meaning beyond the everyday moments. And when two people share that kind of direction, it creates something lasting. It's not just love, it's legacy. When an INFJ finally meets their equal, it's not just another connection. It's a turning point. For years, they may have felt unseen or misunderstood. But this meeting changes everything. It's a reminder that the depth they've always carried was never a weakness. It was waiting to be matched. Through that connection, they experience reflection, safety, growth, and purpose. They find someone who speaks the same emotional language, someone who sees their inner world as clearly as they see others. It's a bond that's both grounding and elevating. It makes the INFJ feel both safe and inspired, something that few people can ever give them. If you're an INFJ who's found this kind of connection, you know how rare it is. And if you haven't yet, don't lose hope. The right connection for you isn't about perfection, it's about alignment. When the right person appears, it won't be forced or confusing. It will feel calm, clear, and familiar. You'll recognize it the moment it happens. Appreciate it when you find it, nurture it with honesty, and never take it for granted. Because when an INFJ meets their equal, it's not just love. It's the meeting of two souls walking the same path, finally side by side.